So packing's interesting. It's not that things are very heavy, because you're talking about big puffy jackets and shells and stuff. So it's just bulky. So even my sleeping bag, his name is Jeff, he's from Norona, and it's a -30 bag. It's phenomenal, but it's big and puffy, so you got to squish these things. How I'm going to squish everything into my one big duffel and my carry-on duffel remains to be seen. But after yesterday talking a little bit about the food, about the Stanleys, and the zipper extensions, I thought we'll just touch base on a little bit of the stuff that helps me stay warm out there. Now, in no particular order, these all get packed in a little bag, one of these packing cubes, and when I get there, they go in different places. Sometimes in the sled, sometimes in my sleeping bag, sometimes in my jacket, just depending on where we are, what we do. So, in no particular order, like I said, neck gaiters, right? Sit around the neck, keep you warm. Most of the time, you probably have them up here. Yeah. What I had last year is, because of the moisture of breathing through it, this thing stood up on its own because the moisture would make it kind of moist and then it would freeze. So by the end of the day, it's rock hard. Then you got to melt it in the evening and not melt it, defrost it and get it dry for the next morning. 2 of those. I do take some Helly Hansen bandanas as well, the thinner ones. These are thick thermal ones from HH, yeah. But I will take some bandanas from them just for the days when it's a bit warmer on the ice cap itself. Then a polar hat, right? This is badass. I remember growing up as a kid, you would see guys wear this, you're like, oh my God, they're like a Russian gangster or something as a kid. But this is pretty cool. It does what it's supposed to do. Yeah, I got this particular one in Lapland. So it's the real deal. And I've used it once or twice, but this one is going to be a major to go with. Then beanies, obviously. This is my main skiing beanie. It's got a fleecy type side inside and then outside. Again, I have to take another one. So I'm taking this one from Svalbard because, again, the biggest concern on these trips isn't necessarily getting cold. It's actually getting too hot. Because if you get hot, you either sweat in your beanie or on your upper back, and that then freezes, and that causes a moisture issue, and then you got to defrost it, and. So this one goes on and off about 20 times a day. I run quite hot when I train, so in the jacket pocket, out the jacket pocket all day, but I am taking a backup as well, because if it is a very strenuous day, I might need to do that. Just a big Helly Hansen one, a big puffy one to sleep with. Yeah, it folds all the way down, because if I do this, all the Velcro is sticking. If I roll it down, it can sit all the way over the eyes. So it's basically that, my sleeping bag up to there, and I can be warm. So a sleeping one. And then a face mask. This is for the windy days. Now, there is an expedition currently on the go. A Finnish group has started their crossing about 8-9 days ago. And they've been caught in huge windstorms, to the point that they were stuck in their tent for 2 days. So when you're skiing in the wind, this does help. The face mask, face gaiter, if you will. Again, yeah. Hello, Clarice. Anyway, so this one as well needs to be accessible in the day as and when necessary. Then for the hands, gloves. I like Hestra. Is it Hestra? Yes. My favorite glove brand. I've bought these. I've got too many of them. So normal liner gloves, yeah, small ones that go over. So this would be, obviously, if you are going to use your phone as a camera, but these are hard wearing. Some leather on the side, keep it off. This one, sometimes in the tent, sometimes during lunch, if we stop and it's cold, I'll wear these. Then these ones are quite lovely, right? These are expedition mittens. So full, what's it called? Wool. Right? This is for an evening in the tent when you're defrosting, waiting for the water to boil to make dinner. But nice and toasty mitten. There's no webbing inside. Yeah, that's one of the big things, and I'll show you now, is why you need these, is inside there you can do this. So I've done this with my hand inside, because blood on blood next to each other. If the fingers are isolated, they get colder. So that's why a mitten works. You get skin on skin contact. These are absolutely gorgeous. When we did Polar Bear Watch last year, they were amazing, because I sat outside for an hour and a half. Then these ones I got a couple of years ago, good couple of, like 10 years ago maybe. So these are working gloves, right? You can ski with them. Phenomenal. They also have the inside. So there's an inside that can come out. But these ones are normally when we breaking down camp or setting up camp, pulling the guide tents, the tent ropes, pulling things up, digging snow blocks, whatever. These are my working gloves. I've had them, must be for about 10 years. They are phenomenal. So those are always accessible close to breaking up camp. Then, just another pair of skins, just in case, doubling up. I also have another polar hat. This is the first one I bought years ago from Norona. It's not bad. It does sit a bit low, so it kind of tends to do this. That's why I prefer the leather one I got in Lapland in Finland. So that's just a backup, just in case. And then the big ski gloves, right? Mittens. So there you go. That's my ski glove. Nice thing inside here, again, I can pull and do this. Now, my hand's in a fist now. Yeah. So with that, the nice thing is you strap them on because, again, my hands run hot when we're skiing. And the nice thing here as well, as with all of these, is the inside velcros and comes out. So you've got the furry, fluffy bit inside, and obviously the outside. My previous ski gloves took me through 2 expeditions. Wow. Coffee. These are new ones. And yeah, they don't give them away for free, but it's a great product. So that's just some of the goodies that's going to keep me warm on the trip. I wanted to do over the weekend when I was packing my sleeping gear, do a video on that because it's quite interesting. Sleeping mat, sleeping mattress, inside a thing called a polar swag, which is like a, lack of better term, a big condom that goes over your mattress. And then the sleeping bag also fits in. But this thing's cool because you don't have to roll up your sleeping gear every night. You just zip this thing up and it sits on top of the sled. So I probably will have to do a repack at some stage. And I'll do that. It's quite a fun one. But that's it for now. Any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I've got to get this back in the bag. Few days to go. A little anxious, but in a good way. And you just want to kind of get going now. Just want to get going. Chat to you soon. Bye.